Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful mental model. It's all about that huge, massive gap between deciding to do something and actually doing it. And it all kicks off with a simple little riddle. Okay, get ready for this one. 5 frogs are just chilling on a log. 4 of them decide to jump off. So, how many frogs are left on the log? Go ahead, take a second. You got an answer in your head? If you said 1, hey, you are not alone. But that's not quite it. The answer is 5. Yep, there are still 5 frogs sitting on that log. And the reason why? Well, that's the entire point of what we're exploring today. And here it is, the big takeaway. There is a world of difference between deciding and doing. Those 4 frogs, they could have the best intentions in the world, but a decision all by itself changes absolutely nothing. You see, this little riddle perfectly illustrates a trap that we all fall into all the time. We get confused. We think that making the decision is the same as making progress. We convince ourselves that the choice was the hard part, but as those frogs show us, it's really just the very, very beginning. And this is what getting stuck looks like in our own lives, right? We do everything but the thing. We think about it, we make detailed plans, we visualize success. We even tell all our friends about it. But at the end of the day, we're still sitting on the log and we haven't actually moved an inch. This brings us to a really, really critical insight. Just thinking about the problem, being aware of what you need to do, is not enough to actually solve it. Awareness is not the same thing as transformation. It is so easy to get trapped in that left column, isn't it? The awareness zone. We're thinking, planning, gathering more and more knowledge. And hey, it feels productive, but it's totally passive. The real change, the real transformation, that only happens over on the right, in the action column. The doing, the leaping, the applying. I mean, think about it. You can read every book on the planet about starting a business or learning an instrument or getting in shape, but all that knowledge is completely powerless until you put it into practice. The magic isn't in the knowing, it's always, always in the doing. So, okay, let's make this personal for a second. What's that thing for you? You know the one. That idea, that project, that change you've been planning, maybe for years, but you're still just sitting on the log. If you know you want it, what's really holding you back? And that question, it leads us right to the heart of the problem. If it's not a lack of knowledge and it's not a lack of a decision, what is it? Well, it's about finding the courage to finally make that leap. So let's really dig in here. If we've already decided to jump, what is that invisible force field that keeps us glued to our spot? What keeps us and those 4 frogs stuck on the log? 9 times out of 10, maybe even 10 times out of 10, the big obstacle is fear. It's the fear of failing, sure, but it's also the fear of the unknown, of what's on the other side, and sometimes it's just the plain old fear of leaving the comfort of that familiar log. And here's the crazy part, the real paradox of it all. You can't think your way out of fear. You can't strategize it away or wait for it to magically disappear. The only antidote to the paralysis of fear is to act despite feeling it. You have to jump while you're still afraid. But here's the amazing thing that happens when you do. Action creates its own positive cycle. You just have to take one tiny step. That single step, no matter how small, sends a signal to your brain that says, oh, okay, we're doing this. And that creates a little bit of momentum, which builds a little bit of confidence. And before you know it, you're not just someone who thinks about things anymore. You're someone who actually does things. Just for a moment, think back. Can you remember a time when you were really scared, but you did the thing anyway? How did you feel on the other side of it? Stronger? More capable? Proud? That feeling right there, that's the reward. And that's what we're chasing. So how do we pull this all together? How do we make this a real living practice in our lives? How do we finally stop being the frog that just decides and start being the frog that actually jumps? See, real commitment isn't some big declaration you make one time. It's a practice. It's the quiet discipline of showing up day after day and doing the work, especially on the days you don't feel like it, on the days it's scary or just plain uncomfortable. In the end, it's what you do that truly defines you. I get it. That log feels safe. It feels familiar. It's what you know. But nothing new ever grows there. You were meant to leap, not some perfect, graceful, flawless leap, a bold, messy, completely imperfect leap. because that's the only thing that actually moves you forward. So let's make this super real. Right now, what is one small, imperfect action you can take today? Not tomorrow, not sometime next week, today. Make it so small it's almost silly not to do it. Write just one sentence of that email. Look up the phone number you need to call. Just put on your walking shoes for a 5-minute walk. What's your first tiny leap? And this all boils down to our final and maybe most important question. I really want you to take a moment and identify it for yourself. What is your log? What's that one specific area of your life where you've been stuck deciding instead of doing? Let's end on this powerful idea. Your personal world and the big world out there, it doesn't change because of a decision. It changes because of an action. It changes the moment you finally decide to leap off the log. Thanks for joining me.